Hey guys, welcome back to another episode of JavaLavaCraft, and in today's episode we are going to attempt to finish up our mega farm. That's right, we're going to try and complete all of the redstone for the entire area, and we're going to start by, well, not with creating something new, but fixing something old. This area right over here, our Kelp Farm, it needs some redesigning, so we're going to go ahead and get that started. I know we just did an episode a few, well, I guess weeks ago at this point, of designing this from scratch, and you know what? It didn't go well, but that happens sometimes. So we're going to go ahead and give this one more attempt. So the two main problems with this farm is it creates way too much lag, and it is not nearly efficient enough. And if you didn't know, hoppers and hopper minecarts can cause quite a bit of lag, so we spent quite a bit of time removing 90% of the hoppers and almost all of the hopper minecarts. It was quite a tedious task. As you can see, that green stuff floating above the hoppers is all kelp that got backed up. We filled up all of these chests down here with kelp. It got a little ridiculous. I might show you how ridiculous in just a minute. But after removing all of the hoppers that the kelp was feeding into, we decided to tackle the second problem by running it through one central point rather than an independent line of hoppers for every single slice of this farm. It was just a little bit ridiculous. So hopefully the efficiency should improve, at least the waste. So hopefully we won't have thousands of kelp just sitting there anymore, because we don't need thousands of kelp. We need thousands of kelp blocks. So that is basically the two problems solved. There's still going to be a bit of a lag spike, as the top level of this is still going to be ran off of a daylight sensor, and the bottom level is going to be ran off of a hopper clock, so that they don't fire all at the same time. We added 2 more rows of hoppers to the bottom of the system, just to increase the constant flow of bamboo that we're going to be creating. We decided to get rid of all the hoppers underneath the farm and replace it with glass. We can actually put powered rails on top of glass, which is going to be great, so that way we can kind of view from underneath if the minecarts stop for whatever reason. Hopefully they won't. I don't think anything can spawn in this area, but it's definitely going to be more lag friendly, so that's cool. For the second row, what we're going to do is actually build up a little bit of an auto dispensing system so that we can see all of the bamboo cascade down the wall of this farm. I thought that would be fun. So here you can see me setting up all of those auto droppers right now. We're gonna run some hopper minecarts back and forth as the bamboo is broken off and collect it that way instead. I think that will be a much better idea than having each independent piece of bamboo have their own hopper minecart. So that should be a lot better. Hopefully this works out, and I'm gonna let it run for just a bit. I'm gonna give you guys some results, and as you can see here at the very end, this is the hopper clock situation. It took us a few tries to figure out the timing for this, and we might have to adjust it in the future, but that's what we're gonna find out now. So time to hop back into the JavaLavaCraft world. Hi guys, welcome back. I hope you enjoyed watching me fix all of my mistakes. Hopefully our farm should be much more productive. I still have just as many furnaces down here, but I don't think it's going to use up more than like 4 or 5, just in case. But as you can see, all of the bamboo is going to cook this kelp, and it's basically going to constantly produce like 1 per, I don't know, second, every 2 seconds, whatever it is. So thankfully all of the bamboo is going to one spot and all of the kelp is going to one spot. We did add one more fun thing, this over here. So this is our kelp overflow protection. So as you guys know, we need a lot of bone meal, so if we have way too much kelp being produced in this farm, well, not a problem. It goes all the way up and over to the other side of the farm, where it goes down into a composting system where it will be converted into bone meal. However, I haven't seen too much kelp going over there yet, so that means that we are doing a good job cooking it up. So I've also basically seen furnaces on almost constantly, so that means this farm is working. It's not Enderman protected though. You need to leave, sir. Okay, thank you. Just another quick fix thing we did. We added some carpets on top of all the redstone lines because the Endermen were teleporting over there. I don't think they were spawning up there, but they were definitely teleporting up there. And thankfully we haven't seen too many up there because we need a solution for all of our Enderman problems. I don't know. I don't know why they love coming in here so much. I guess they enjoy redstone or dropping blocks where they shouldn't. Either way, they gotta go. I also showed you guys the dropper area up there, but not the second one down here. So there is an entire second level to the bottom where all of the bamboo is collected and automatically dropped into this water stream. So super, super cool. But if you guys were wondering how much kelp was actually just kind of sitting there, well, it filled all of these chests here. Yep, every single one. And it's a little ridiculous. There's a little bit of bamboo as well. And the even more ridiculous thing is how many mine carts and how many hoppers were left over. Look at this. This is like 20 stacks. Yeah, look at that. Just a ridiculous amount of supplies that we didn't need to be using. Yep. And all of this here is bamboo. So, yeah, we're going to have to figure out something to do with all this bamboo because, well, it doesn't compost, so we can't do that. Maybe we will feed all this bamboo into this system up here. I'm not sure yet. One last thing we're probably going to do off camera is finish this last two rows up. Unfortunately, the spacing didn't really fit very well on the last two droppers because it would either lock these hoppers here or mess up the redstone for our automatic sorting system because I did my maths wrong again. You guys know we do the maths wrong a lot. But let's hop into this area over here and check out the kelp block production. Well, you guys know I would never lie to you, so I'm going to be very honest. A lot of the kelp that we've already produced was produced beforehand before we adjusted the farm and how it works. So I think at least 4 of these double chests were already full with kelp blocks that we had crafted up before doing this. So we crafted up some more, and so right now we only have a chest and a half, a little over a half of kelp blocks. So all of the dried kelp, however, is stuff that was produced while we were building the farm and a little bit of time after. So as you can see, it's producing a fair amount of dried kelp, so that's pretty good. Probably a few hours of dried kelp there, so it's definitely going to be productive. The idea is that we have a good efficient source of dried kelp. It doesn't have to be crazy fast to kind of just collect while we AFK, because that's the idea. We want to be able to AFK in this area and just collect some general resources like gunpowder, iron, and dried kelp. And now we're producing a ridiculous amount of bone meal. We have all these bone blocks, and that's super cool. And there's pretty much always bone meal being produced in one way or another. So that's nice. I wanted to initially actually just build a bone meal farm, so something that is only used for bone meal, but we're siphoning it from 5 different farms, and it's just a glorious thing that we don't have to do that. Ooh, that's kind of weird. As I'm sure you guys have noticed, we have lots of chests laying everywhere in our world, and that's a problem. That is a boss that we're not quite ready to defeat, but we can take on its smaller brother, the mini chest monster, here in our mega farm area. So we're going to go ahead and clean up some of the chests that are on the the top floor, or the current top floor of our mega farm area, so that we can start to expand the floors for maintenance around our farm. The floors for maintenance aren't going to be anything too pretty because honestly, we're not going to spend any time in there. But if we notice that the production of, any item is starting to go down, then maybe an Enderman spawned and put a dirt block in front of our zombie and he died. Or an Iron Golem spawned somewhere they shouldn't because of an Enderman putting a dirt block somewhere they shouldn't. I don't know if you guys have noticed, but Endermen are a big problem in this area. But enough about Endermen for today. We are going to start this little mini project of creating some maintenance floors for our mega farm so that we have a better idea of how the layout is going to be while we build up the actual pretty stuff, which we might not get to today. It's weird, I know. It will all make sense in the end, don't worry. Trust me. Well, that was it. That's it for the maintenance rooms, at least so far. There's really not too much more we need to do as far as the maintenance floors go, because like I said, we're not really gonna see these areas too often. I know it's pretty boring. It's just smooth stone slabs, but you know what? Slabs are spawn proof, and that's pretty much all the function we need out of these rooms. So actually these rooms are purely function. They're not decorative at all. As you can see, we have some beautiful lighting. Yep, super cool. Anyways, this is the area where we can view all of our bamboo getting siphoned down through this farm into these hoppers right here. When they all break at the end of the night cycle, you get to see just like a rainfall of bamboo. It's pretty cool. In fact, we're gonna go ahead and wait for night real quick. So day has just broken and it is now the morning officially, and you can see all of the bamboo just raining down. It is super cool. I love this little area where you can just watch it all rain. Bamboo. Yep, that's fun. Yep, our little Enderman friend did not leave, by the way. So the other things you can see in this floor are our creepers dying, which is pretty cool. I think that's fun. So you have access to view every single killing platform for each of the creeper farm modules, and I'm going to show those off right now. We got this one up here, super cool. We got some creepers dying here, some creepers dying over here, and it can get a little noisy, but yep, it's pretty productive, so that's pretty cool. Wow, we have creepers on every single level. That's awesome. Oh, wow, another one. Cool. So over here, we can kind of just see if the minecart is picking up the items or not. Right there, we did just see a piece of gunpowder disappear. So it's working. Yeah, that's why we have these floors. We just want to confirm that it is working. And over here, we have a massive viewing area for our iron farm. This is going to be the area that needs maintenance, if any of them do. Obviously, the iron golems falling into the lava is pretty consistent. The problem is this guy right here. I think we've had to replace him 3 times because of, you guessed it, Endermen. Anyways, the other farms in this area are pretty much unbreakable. I mean, they're very breakable. It's glass. It breaks pretty easy. But there's really nothing too crazy. I mean, there's nowhere for anything to spawn in here, and it's just a bunch of cactuses falling into a hole. So that's it, but we can still check on it just in case. And over here, we currently are using some pumpkins into our main bone meal conversion area, so you can kind of view it there. You can see them coming out of our mega farm and going into our bone meal converter, so that's pretty cool. We can make sure that's working. And then over here, there's not too much to see right here other than one of the hopper mine carts going back and forth for our pumpkin and melon farm. So again, over here, it's just an area where we can make sure that the pumpkins are flowing through, and same with the melons. So as soon as these mine carts end up here, these droppers are going to spit out all of the product that our farm is producing, and then it gets shot up into this water stream and goes into our farm. So once all these other ones start coming, we can confirm that everything's working. So currently it looks like everything is. Very productive farm, even more so than we actually need. So up here, as you may have seen in the time lapse, you may have forgot, this is our sugarcane farm, and look at all of our Enderman farm buddies. Yeah, way too many. Oh my gosh, there are so many in here. We need to get rid of these guys. I think I should have followed Tango Tech's design a little bit more and just made it 1 high, because we have a pretty big problem with Endermen being able to spawn in here. Well, that's pretty much it for the maintenance levels, and as I said earlier in the episode, we are going to attempt to get the entire mega farm done. So that means we have 3 more farms to make. They're not very big ones, and we're going to start off with the only semi-automatic farm. That's right, it's the only farm that's not going to be AFK-able, but it takes a long time for this particular thing to grow, and we have to provide a space for it to make it a little bit easier to collect. Yeah, it's vines. It's vines. It's a vine farm. Vine farm, everyone. So basically, vines take forever to grow, and I figured it takes a while to harvest, so while we want to sit here and AFK, instead of that, we could, I guess, collect some vines, and it can go right into our storage. And I got a pretty interesting idea for the collection system. It's not really much of a, well, I guess it's a farm, it's just not an automatic farm. Anyways, let's just jump right into it. And done. So, yep, pretty simple design, as you guys probably saw. We didn't build up any walls yet, but we're just trying to finish up these farms. It's a lot of work, and I'm ready to finish up this redstone. Anyways, as you can see, a few minor changes from the time lapse. Oh, those annoy the sheep. We have a bunch of unbreaking and iron and stuff up here in case we want to use unbreaking shears, but we really don't even have to, because we have a chest every other block up here with just some regular shears, and you can get through 75% of one of the sides before your shears break. As you can see, we've sheared one wall down. The only other changes I made in this area are the lighting and the guardrail for the end rods, which kind of works, kind of doesn't work, because end rods, they pop off really easy. So as you can see, it's gone, and that's a bit of a problem when you're trying to get these bottom ones here sometimes. Also, if you put vines on this side and this side of a block, and then you try and break, like we'll do that right there, yeah, see, it breaks both of them, and you only get one of those vines when you use the shear. So that's a bit unfortunate. The other problem with this farm is I don't know why I decided to use this right here for design reasons, because all the vines get stuck right here on the end. It looks cool, but you know, we're gonna have to change that. So maybe we'll use like glass or something, I don't know yet. We have 2 more farms to do, and we're gonna go ahead and get started with the second to last one. The one I'm pretty excited for, a farm I've never made before or even tried to make, because we've never really needed one, but I do plan to use some of the resources that it will be providing in this season. So let's go ahead and actually fly over to our tree farm area, because I know we have a big open space and not much going on over there, so we won't have to worry about lag very much. So I will meet you guys over there. So welcome to the tree farming area, where we will be farming some trees. We're going to be making a bee farm today, or a honey farm, I guess I should say. If you can see in between the rows of saplings right here, we have some flowers, because if you didn't know, when you attempt to grow birch and I think oak trees next to some flowers, you have a chance, it's like 1 in 20, of having the tree spawn with a beehive on it, which is what we're trying to collect. And we got about 20 beehives, so that should be perfect. So now we're going to just create a little bit of an enclosure for our bees so that we can breed them up. Bees can be super laggy while you're breeding them up, especially in mass quantities. So we don't want to crash our world by overloading the chunks where our mega farm is. So we're just going to make a quick little bee farm over here. And all we're going to be doing is breeding them up. Unfortunately, I forgot to grab some campfires, so we have to be super careful. As you can see, there are plenty of bees being born right now though, so it shouldn't be a problem. We're gonna go ahead and probably just wait until night before we actually harvest any of these beehives, because it can be a little dangerous if you don't. And if you didn't know, once the bees attack you, they actually die shortly after. So they get one attack in on you, and then they group up on you, and every bee that stings you poisons you, and then they die. So it's definitely sad. So after breeding up several, probably 100 bees, maybe like 100 bees, we could confirm that all of the beehives that we collected were full, which is why we were even breeding the bees in the first place. And we obviously left plenty of them over there to fill up these man-made beehives, or I think that's what they're called. Yeah, I think the other ones that we took are the bee nests, which are much rarer, but you know what, we don't really have any plans for using them to build with. So anyways, we're gonna head back over to the mega farm area and get started on our bee farm. the bee farm is now complete, and honestly, it wasn't very hard, so that was pretty cool. We have one that is loaded up with shears, and one row that is loaded up with empty bottles. So the reason we did that is because if we collect the ones with empty bottles, we should get, obviously, bottles of honey, which we can turn into honey blocks, and if we use the shears, we can collect honeycombs, which we can turn into honeycomb blocks, or whatever they're called, and we can also use them to create more beehives. So that's super cool. This farm was surprisingly easy and pretty straightforward. You just use a comparator to read the signal strength of how much honey is in the beehive, and then run that signal to a dispenser with either a bottle or a shear in it, and then it collects it through a hopper system underneath. Super easy. I'm surprised. I should have done this sooner. It could have been done weeks ago. Like I said, we have one more farm to do. We're not going to time-lapse that or anything, because we've already done so many time-lapses. So I'm going to go ahead and just finish that one up really quick. It's nothing special. We're just going to get a little passive chicken farm, since we already have one that mass produces them if we ever need them. I just want to collect a few eggs and feathers passively, because we will end up needing those, especially if we decide to stick with the crossbow or end up getting some enchanted arrows or whatever. So we're going to go ahead and just whip that up real quick. And done. So behind me you can see our automatic chicken farm. So over here is where we will be collecting eggs, and over here is where we'll be collecting all the chicken drops. So chicken, which is going to be cooked chicken, and some feathers, so that's going to be super cool. But that's pretty much it. I think we are finally done with all of the farms and redstone in the mega farm area. I hope you guys enjoyed today's episode, and if you did, make sure you hit that like button, and if you're even more excited to see content from the JavaLavaCraft world, make sure you hit that subscribe button. But as always, I appreciate you guys, and that's going to be all for me. So have a great day, and we will see you in the next one.